Hello, my name is Leo and welcome to the reading of the Elder Scrolls. Today we're going to be reading The Poison Song, Book 2, by Brishton Gilles. And the first book, I think Tay, who's the main character, pushed Vaster off the cliff so he could get the orb. Something like that. Tay felt no guilt, which frightened him. Although the long... all through. Alright. All through the long, fast walk away from the gorge, through the woods, across the dry creek bed, he chatted merrily with Brenya, fully aware that he had just committed murder. Yeah, that was manslaughter. Whenever his mind strayed from the conversation, he thought back on the last moments of Vasta's short life. The song would soar. He could not think of the boy's death, but Tay knew he was responsible. "You're a mess!" cried Aunt Ulala, the moment she saw the two children emerging from the woods into the grounds of Stendel's house. "Where have you been?" "Didn't Vasta already tell you?" asked Tay. The scene played itself out as Tay knew it would. Every dancer in the song performing their steps was choreographed. Aunt Ulala saying that she had not seen Vasta. Brynef not yet frightened. Excuse me. Making up an innocent lie about the threesome not having strayed far. Saying he must have gotten lost. A slow but steady rhythm of panic intensifying as night began to fall, and Vasta had not yet returned. Braino and Tay tearfully. He was surprised how easy it was for him to cry without feeling, admitting where they had been, and leading Uncle Triffith and a crowd of servants to the junk pile and gorge. The tireless search through the woods as night turned into dawn, the weeping, the light punishment, merely cries of anger that Brynjolf and Tay suffered for losing their young cousin. It was thought from their stricken expressions that the children felt guilty enough. They were sent to bed at dawn while the hunt through the woods continued. Tay was drifting to sleep when his nursemaid, Edaba, came into his room. The look of unwavering love and devotion had not left her eyes, and he sank gratefully into his dreams and nightmares with her holding his hand. The song wafted almost imperceivably through his consciousness as he again had the vision of the room in the castle. Stop burping. Sorry, I ate a lot of chocolate before recording. The girl and her baby. The bird in the rafters, the dying fire, the sudden explosion of violence. Breathless, Tay opened his eyes. Edaba was stealing out the door, soft humming the song to herself. What song is this? I don't know. In her hand was the crystal globe from his satchel. For a moment he hesitated about to cry out. How did she know the song? Was she aware that he had murdered another boy to get the globe? Somehow he knew that she was helping him. That she knew all and loved him and sought only to protect him. The next day, and the next week, and the next month were all much the same. No one spoke very much, and when they did, it was to suggest new places to look for the missing boy. Really? A month? I remember that there was that Australian family where their son went missing and they never gave up. It's kind of sad. A little sad. Everywhere had been searched thoroughly. Tay was curious why they never looked in the gorge, but he understood how inaccessible it was. A side effect of Vasta's absence was that the tutorial sessions with Kenna Graffiti took on a more serious, even academic quality. The younger boy's high spirits and meagre attentiveness had always cut the lessons short, but sensible Brainer and quiet Tay were ideal pupils. He was particularly impressed by how focused they became during a rather dry history lecture about the heraldic symbols of the houses of Morrowind. The crest of Halal features a scale, he sniffled disdainfully. They see themselves as the great compromisers, as if they were something honorable. Many hundreds of years ago, they were the tribesmen following Resident who chose... Pardon me, Kenna, asked Brainer, but what is the crest with the insect on it? You don't know, House Redoran? Asked the tutor, lifting up one of the shields. I know you're a bit sheltered. I know you have a sheltered life on Gorn, but you're surely old enough to recognize... Not that one, Kenna, replied Tay. I think she means the other crest with an insect. I gotta pause. And sorry, by pause I meant mute myself, sorry. I see, nodded Kenna Grafshti, brow forward. Yes, you would be too young to have ever seen the crest of the sixth house. The house of Dagoth. Oh, don't tell me the song is relating to them. Must be. Our enemies, together with the accursed heretical Dwemer in the War of the Red Mountain, now totally destroyed, thanks be to Lord, Mother, and Wizard. That house was a curse on our land for millennia, and when at last the pestilence was snuffed out, the very earth itself breathed a cloud of fire and ash in relief, bringing night to day for over a year's time. Now, this book has to be written before the events of Morrowind. Yeah. I don't know how that works. Me neither. Anyway. Brainer and Tay knew they could not speak, but they exchanged lowering glances at one another as the tutor enlarged. That's a weird verb. Enlarged on the theme of the great wickedness of the Dwemer in the House Dagoth. As soon as the lesson ended, they walked silently out of Sandrill House until they were far from the ears and eyes. The afternoon sun stretched out the shadows of the spear-like trees surrounding the meadow. Off in the distance, they could hear the sounds of the workers beginning their preparations for the autumn-tide harvest, yelling to one another unintelligibly, in coarse and familiar accents. That was definitely the symbol on the shield you found at the garbage heap, Brainier said at last. Everything there must be a remnant of House Dagoth. Tay nodded. His mind was on the strange crystal globe. He felt a light vibration of soundless music touch his body, and he knew he was discovering a new cadence of the song. Why would our people have burned and discarded all that? He asked thoughtfully. Do you think the House Dagoth was so evil that everything associated with them could have been cursed? Brainer laughed. At the height of day, all talk of curses and the evil sixth house were pure superstition. Right. Something to add romance to one's life, but nothing to worry about. The children walked back to the castle for yet another in a series of cold, quiet dinners. As the night fell, Brainier looked through the treasures she had picked up in the junk heap. By the light of the moons, the small jars, the talk with orange gemstones, the bits of tarnished silver and gold of no obvious purpose, all took on a sinister aspect. Revulsion overtook her feeling of admiration instantly. There was a strange energy to them, a tincture of death and corruption that was undeniable. Brainer ran to the window and vomited. Looking out to the dark open lawn below, she saw a figure below. Did she vomit on him? A figure below, lighting an arrangement of candles in the shape of a large insect, the symbol of the House Dagoth. when it looked in her direction. She pulled back, but she saw the face illuminated by Talos. It was Ediba, Tay's nursemaid. Ah, she's one of them. The next morning, Brina left the castle grounds early, bearing a large sack filled with her treasures. She carried them to the dumping ground and left them there. Then she returned, and told her uncle Tenerath what she had seen the night before, leaving out only what had made her sick in the first place. Ediba was banished from the Isle of Gorn without discussion, really. She wept, begging to be allowed to say goodbye to Tay, but all believed that would be too dangerous. When Tay asked what had become of her, he was told she had to return to her family in the mainland. He had grown too old for a nursemaid. Brina never told him what she knew, for she was afraid. And that was The Poison Song, Book 2 by Briston Zell. This has been another reading of The Elder Scrolls. But for now, my name is Leo, and I will see you next time.